So could the Eagles actually be getting ready to draft another wide receiver in the first round? According to reports, they are very seriously looking at JAXSON SMITH-NJIGBA. And what's up with the Derrick Henry trade? Now we're hearing the Eagles, there's no chance of making it happen. I'm not buying it. That tweet was just too random. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, King Dingbat here, and hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So could the Eagles actually, for the fourth year in a row, be looking at using a first-round pick on a wide receiver? According to reports, there's a chance that this is going to happen. And what's with this Derrick Henry thing? Yesterday, we get some random tweet out of nowhere talking about him coming to the Eagles. Now we're getting counter reports saying there's no truth to it. But the whole thing doesn't make any sense. That was too random of a tweet. Now, before we get into all of this, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you so much for all the support you guys give to me. If you guys didn't know, which most of you guys probably do, we will be streaming the whole entire draft, all 3 days, every minute, every second, every hour of it. So be here Thursday. It should be a lot of fun. We'll have our draft 5 caps on. If you've gotten yours, send me pictures, or DM me pictures of it so we can show it during the draft. It'll be kind of cool. It is going to be a very, very cool night. Now, a couple things we got to talk about, okay? The Derrick Henry situation and this JAXSON SMITH-NJIGBA situation, because it looks like the Eagles are strongly considering him as a first-round selection. And why not? He's the best wide receiver in the draft. And here's what was said today. The Birds at the Birds blog, great site. Go definitely follow them on Twitter. According to his latest article, at Tony Pauline is reporting that the Eagles are doing some late work on Ohio State wide receiver JAXSON SMITH-NJIGBA. JSN is considered to be a lock in the first round selected in this year's draft, but could he be headed to Philadelphia? Then it goes on to say, first, the Philadelphia Eagles are making a late push on the wideout and doing a lot of work on him in recent days. Second, JAXSON Smith, JSN, is definitely part of the conversation for the Jets at 13. Who cares about the Jets at 13? If the offensive tackles are off the board, I was outright told the Jets are absolutely considering JSN with the pick. Who cares? I don't care about the Jets. Anyways, so the Eagles are doing late research on him. And if they were to take him, that would mean 4 years in a row, the Eagles used a first-round pick to take a wide receiver. You had Jalen Reagor. Then the following year, you had Devontae Smith. And then you used a first-round pick to trade for A.J. Brown. And then if you were to take JSN, that would be 4 years in a row you're using a first-round pick on one position. Now, I got to say this. I wouldn't even be that disappointed because the philosophy of taking JSN is the same philosophy I've been talking about when taking a running back. Make your offense better. Make it more scary. And any holes that you have on defense still that you haven't been able to totally fix, your offense will cover you. And it gives you kind of 2 years to get your defense built back up through the draft. So I am all for making your offense better in any way possible. And if they think JSN could come in and do that, I would be all for it. However, I don't know that I can see the Eagles drafting another wide receiver and using another first-round pick on a wide receiver. I think it's more likely, even though people think it's unlikely, that the Eagles would draft a running back in the first round. I think there's a real shot for that. I really, really do. And when you take JSN and everything we're hearing now about him, and you take all the things about Bijan Robinson, and then you take all the things that we've heard about the offensive linemen, then you take all the things that we heard about Derrick Henry, which we're going to talk about in a little bit here. When you take all that and you listen to all that, I think it means one thing. I think it means the Eagles are going offense early and often in this draft, and it's going to surprise a lot of people. Not going to surprise me because I'm expecting it just based upon how they've dealt with the free agency and where they've allocated a lot of their money so far has been on the defensive side of the ball. I think the Eagles are going to look to add more weapons and more pieces to Jalen Hurts. And JSN is a weapon. He is no doubt a weapon. And that's what Howie Roseman, I mean, he even said it in his press conference. We are looking for playmakers. We're looking for game changers. We're looking for unique talent, okay? You're going to find that with JSN. You're going to find that with Bijan Robinson. So those guys are probably very much in play. And to me, if JSN is the best player on their board and they're at 10 and they have to draft, take them. I just want the Eagles, all I ask for the Eagles to do is be truthful and be honest to the draft board. Whoever you have rated as the highest, best player available, whether that's Bijan, whether that's JSN, take them. Whether it's Jalen, whoever it is, take them. Just be true to your board. My board would say Bijan Robinson number 3, so that's where I would go. But we'll see. But it's something to watch. That would be JSN draft pick would be very interesting. But it would greatly improve the Eagles' receiving core. There's no question about it. He would come in and help immediately. I have no doubt he's your third best receiver instantly if you were to draft him. So that would be a scary, scary group of wide receivers, which I would say most teams in the NFL don't have a trio like that. So to me, I understand why Howie would look at that. But we got to keep an eye on it, no doubt about it. The other thing we got to talk about is Derrick Henry, because now we're getting reports from Pro Football Talk. They're saying, per source with knowledge of the situation, the Derrick Henry trade won't be happening. And that was pretty much it. It just won't be happening. The Tennessee Titans, they owe him $10.5 million. And we're to believe that reports by Akbar Abedimillah were just random. He was just thrown out there. He was just flat out lying. And there's no truth to it. I'm not buying it. I'm not saying that the Eagles are about to make a trade for Derrick Henry. That we don't know. But there's definitely something going on. There's no way that we're going to get such a random tweet like that with such confidence just because a guy wants to lie. Why would a guy want to come out and lie like that? Because that's how people would look at it. I highly think that he knows more than is being led on. And maybe this is something that both the Eagles and the Titans are keeping hush-hush. I don't know. But all I can say is there's definitely more to this situation than per knowledge of the source of the situation said it's not happening. That doesn't mean anything to me. There was just too random of a tweet. Now, what I think, if I had to guess what is going on with Derrick Henry and the situation, this would be my guess. Okay, and this doesn't come from me. This was tweeted out yesterday. Let me pull up to see if I have the tweet here. I could pull it up for you guys. I wasn't going to talk about it, but here. But this is what actually makes the most sense to me about the whole situation. Kendall Beck said this: there's definitely some truth to the Derrick Henry report rumor. It's way too random for it not to hold weight, which is what I just said, and I totally agree with. He goes, if something was to happen, it likely wouldn't come until post-draft. Henry could be a plan B if they don't land their guy Robinson or Gibbs in the draft. I agree with that. I think what this could be is a situation in which the Eagles are getting ready, getting everything prepared for if they don't get Robinson, they don't get Gibbs, they don't get one of those running backs that they like. They're looking at making a trade for a running back, a veteran running back, and the guy that they would go after is Derrick Henry. That makes a lot more sense to me than it just not being true. There's just too much. There's too random of a tweet out of nowhere to be like totally false. There's something going on there. We just don't know what and to what level. And I'm sure if Derrick Henry was to come to the Eagles, he would want a new contract, and the Eagles would probably give him a few years. I'm sure Howie would make it work for the cap. So, it could be a situation where they've negotiated something with Tennessee, they've agreed upon, and it's a matter of the Eagles working out a contract with Derrick Henry and having everything set in place. So if you can't draft a running back, you then go to Derrick Henry as a backup plan. That makes a lot of sense to me. I think the way things are shaping up, I think there's a real legitimate shot that the Eagles are going to land Bijan Robinson in the first round. I'm not saying the 10th pick overall, because it doesn't have to be the 10th pick. They could trade back, they could trade up. I just think when this thing is all said and done, I think the Eagles, I got a feeling they're going to land this guy, because I think they definitely want a running back. If we've seen one thing with all these reports with the Henry and the Bijan earlier in the week, and then with even with JSN and looking at receiver, the Eagles are looking to upgrade that offense. They're definitely looking to upgrade it, and they're looking for unique players that you can plug in right away. So this is crazy. This is draft week. This is what it's all about. We are going to get crazy stuff, crazy rumors. Half of it will be wrong. Half of it may hold a tiny weight. And then there may be one or two things that actually stick. And then most likely, the things that the Eagles do, nobody ever saw coming. We don't know how many smoke screens the Eagles are throwing out there, from talking about Bijan Robinson to talking about JSN. We don't know. We really don't know. If I had to guess, I think the Eagles would like to get Jalen Carter. And if Jalen Carter isn't there, I think the Eagles are going to go with Bijan Robinson. That's what I think they're going to do. And if they don't, they may trade back to do it. They may trade up to do it. But I think that's what they're going to do. And I think if Paris Johnson Jr. is available, he may be a guy they might take over Bijan Robinson, because I could see them going offensive line. And I'd be okay with that too. The JSN thing, very interesting. Keep an eye on it. And then the Derrick Henry thing, now we're getting all the reports. There's no truth to it, anything like that. It's just too random of a tweet, in my opinion, not to hold any weight. Something's up. We just don't know on what level. With that said, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. I should maybe be back. We'll see later on today. If not, I'll see you tomorrow, but whatever. Just look out for Philly 500. Make sure that bell's ringing. All that subscribing stuff is good. Set to go. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. And it's Howie Vision. We're all living in it. And I just want to say this. Dallas still stinks. I don't know if you guys saw the article by Reuben Frank. He's convinced. He thinks the Eagles are taking Bijan Robinson. I think that's very, very interesting. I think there's a possibility. Not saying it's the greatest possibility in the world, but I think there's a chance. There's still a chance the Eagles are going to draft 5. And I'll have my hat ready to go. Bring me Bijan. With that said, Denzel Washington out.